Welcome in to the DNVR Avalanche podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, the number one rated sportsbook app out there. Use code DNVR to join now and get amazing odds boosts. I'm your host, Rudolph, joined by apparently the lovely Evan Rowell and Blais Hunter as well. Blais is lovely too, let's be honest.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I've seen Blais's eyes, all right? We all know they're lovely. I don't need to announce that. Also lovely, the Avs win 2-0 tonight. Dr. Dubs is in the building. Gotta tell you, I don't love the prescription of 40-plus shots on goal and one goal going in the net with a goalie actually in there. That's been the prescription for 2 straight games now for the Avs, and those are some hard pills to swallow.
It'll happen eventually. It's going to come in one of these games where they get like 30 shots on goal. They'll get like 5 or 6 goals. And especially tonight felt like they were really getting good chances. It wasn't just like stuff from the exterior. It was like, Mikko had 2 grade A chances on one freaking shift. And the second line was buzzing for the first period. So it's going to come. It's just these games are getting really annoying.
It's going to come. You promise. I'm
going to show the charts again because these charts are just ridiculous. They've gotten consecutively even crazier. This is the 5-on-5 Corsi for this hockey game. The Avs had 40 more attempts by the end of the game at 5-on-5. I don't know. When do these stop being hockey games, and when do they start being practices for the Colorado Avalanche where they're just not allowed to score? Because that's what it feels like right now. It just feels that way. Thank you for the super chats, by the way. We've had a handful of them. I think as much of the story as the Avs didn't score tonight, Philip Grubauer pitches a shutout. Yeah, he only had to do it with 18 shots, but a shutout's still a shutout, right?
I almost wonder if he's like sitting back to like, oh, I'm bored, but I'm also going to be rich in like 5 months. So like, this is boring, but I'm going to have to put up with this. So, cause it's hard. Cause last 2 third periods, he hasn't done anything for 20 minutes. And then it's just like, here's a breakaway. Yeah. Just stop that. So that can't be easy.
No, that's brutal for goalies, right? Like trying to keep their head in the game when they're just like starting to look into the stands, think about what they're going to do, what groceries they need to get after the game. So it's hard for them just to keep the concentration.
Especially, it's a 1-0 game, and LA doesn't get a shot on goal for 12 minutes straight in the third period. And then they're like, here's a breakaway, and now you have to stop 2 power plays. Go. It's like, all right, hope you're ready, Groob. But, yeah, he recommends shots, but he should be recommending goals. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's actually what makes someone said even Miska might stop 18 shots. That's what makes it so frustrating because they're only giving up like 18 shots in these Miska games, and they should have like full 8 points in those games, but they don't. So, yeah, Grubauer deserves a lot of credit just for mentally staying prepared when you're not doing anything. I think the first period when he got 7 shots probably felt like a lot of work for him, just the way things have gone the last couple weeks.
Go ahead.
It seemed like they came at the beginning of the game too. Like they had a little bit of a puck possession time at the beginning there. Avs were kind of coughing the puck up right at the blue line.
Yep.
They had some shots on net, so it was like, ooh, this isn't going to be good. And then all of a sudden it was like, yeah, never mind about that part of the game. We're just going to go YOLO the rest of the game.
The first 10 minutes tonight felt like the first 10 minutes the other night, where it's a little run and gun, but Arizona didn't hit the net at all last game.
Very true.
Whereas LA was getting some chances here. So, the freaking Graves Patterson pair gave up like a breakaway and a 2-on-1 on one shift. So, it seems like I don't know, for 10 minutes it takes the Avs a little bit to settle down, and then it's just like, okay, well, you guys don't get the puck the rest of the night.
Yeah.
We'll get to Graves a little bit more in a little bit. We'll get to the Mikko assist too, but I don't think it's as big a deal as people are making it out to be. But the Avs, yes, that is the comment I want right there. 127 shots to 46 shots in the last 3 games. And the Avs lost one of those games. Did
the Avs have 46 shots tonight?
The Avs
I think they had more
shots tonight.
Oh,
correct.
Wow.
As many as they've given up in the last
3 games. And if you take away the empty net goal, that's 5 goals on 126 shots. They're shooting under 5%. Significantly under, in fact. What's someone who's good at math? Do math for me. One.
Evan, it's you.
5
off the top of my head.
126. They're shooting under 4%.
Yeah.
That's got to change. It's got to correct itself, right? Like it's
unsustainable. Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah. And they're not like they're bad quality shots either. They're good quality. It's just
look at this nonsense. Look at this. Their goal comes from the moon. Mikko ran and wrister from nowhere, and they have all of this going on, and they can't score.
That Mikko goal was just like Landy's in overtime, but just like 10, 15 feet further out.
That Mikko goal was it wasn't a one-timer, but it was reminiscent of his goal in San Jose, where that line gets moving and they mess with the defense, and then all of a sudden, you got different players in different spots and they can't keep up with everything. And that's what makes that line a little bit frustrating, is that they can get stuck a little bit, but once they're moving, they're unstoppable. And I know we're going to talk about Graves, but it's just like, you get moving from that left point spot and you distribute the puck, and then, good things happen. You mess with the defense a little bit.
Yeah. Movement creates a lot. That much is clear. This hockey team, we talked about this for the last 2 post-game shows, right? But the process, for the most part, it certainly, at least in the offensive zone, is just too good to have the results that they have right now. And at the end of the day, they don't ask how, they just ask how many in the W column. So this will just go down as another W. But am I being too homer if I say it sure feels like the Avs could go on a run as soon as this dam breaks?
No. Especially when they're at home for the rest of the month still. So
yeah.
Just looking at the stats, sorry, Evan.
No, they definitely feel like they can go on a run, because they're still not playing great competition at this home stand, and they have their entire forward core. I know JT Comfort's not there, but I don't miss him right now. Like, you don't really notice that he's missing. They should get Byram back, I would assume, Sunday, or at the very earliest next week, or latest next week. So
yeah, I'm sure Chad already mentioned it, but Byram and Comfort both skating non-contact today. So
yeah, so it does feel like they are going to go on a run here. The fact that they're holding these teams, these are not great teams, but they're still NHL teams, and they're holding them to under 20 shots with Dan Renouf, Greg Patterson, Jacob Mcdonald still looks pretty good, but like, these are guys that have not you don't, these are your 10th, 11th defenseman in your depth chart, and you're still crushing teams.
Yep.
This is getting ridiculous.
Yep. If there's any doubt that the Avs don't have the best defense in the league, I don't know. There isn't anymore. There's the way I should say it. Devontae's defense is world class. Sam Girard is a machine. the system they play with full buy-in from the forwards is just. You saw in the first period, Nathan MacKinnon had like the world's most insane back check where he actually attached rockets to his hockey skates and was just like, "Nope, we're not doing this."
Yeah. On Devon Taves, it's just like, how did Avs fans sit there for a decade watching absolute garbage on defense, and then this guy just like falls into their lap this summer? It's ridiculous. Like, he is a top pairing defenseman, and they just got him for nothing, and he might be the third best defenseman on this team. Like, what has happened to this team?
It's
watching him last year in the playoffs. Like, when the Avs announced that they were getting him, I was like, this is unreal. He was this like sneaky good defense, and then all of a sudden they're like, yep, he's an Av now. It's like, oh, just add that to the list of guys you have back there that are just gonna dominate the league for 5 years at least.
Yeah, and they locked him up for the next 4 years too. So
yeah.
I mean, perfect. An easy night for Taves and Girard. Taves had to play 26 and a half. Girard under 26 minutes. Taking an early shower tonight a little bit.
Sunday stroll on a Friday.
I'm sure we'll get to it, but like, I felt like all four lines outside of maybe one player was really going tonight. This was it did feel like they had maybe the ideal lineup for what they have right now going. Obviously, I think we all know what one player we're talking about, but I really did like this lineup tonight in the forward court, the way they played.
Not a single player negative in possession metrics. Look, Matt Calvert on the fourth line, just that line is a monster with him. Yeah. Their energy levels the Kings just straight up couldn't keep up with that line. Like if they could finish, they'd be the first line.
Him and O'Connor on the same line is just probably hard to defend because you think you got some time and you're like, nope, I don't have any time. They're on me. So, yeah. I'll say it every post game. There's no way O'Connor can come out of this lineup.
Yeah. I liked him at the end of the game there too, getting a little rough in there with a few guys. So it's good to see him do that.
Yeah. And look, I think Pin King Super Chat here shows the consistency of the defensive side of this at very least. The Avs have the biggest, I'm assuming that's shots for, is what you mean to shots against differential, with over 33 shots for per game and barely 25 shots against per game. It's after the majority of the last decade, coming into Colorado and playing goaltender was like walking into hell and them asking you to save 40 shots a night minimum. And all of a sudden this year, it's a goalie's paradise. You're going to get a light workload. You're going to look good out there with a super strong defense in front of you. So credit to Grubauer. I mean, anytime a goalie gets a shutout, it's well earned, but outside of a random YOLO breakaway or two, he didn't have to work that hard for this one. So we'll take our first period break on that note, as we are sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 rated sportsbook app out there. You can head on over there and get your money's worth. You can use code DNVR when you sign up. Bet $4 to turn it into $256 anytime you bet on the underdog. CSU Rams tip-off probably isn't for like another 45 minutes, so you can bet on them.
10 o'clock. Oh, no, so it's should be starting right now.
Michael said it was going to get pushed back, or Justin T. Michael, rather, said it was going to get pushed back.
Oh, didn't see that.
So
ESPN had them starting 9:59, so this second.
All right, you have 30 seconds. Go bet on the Rams. Get on it.
Or you can bet on the Buffs right now as well.
There you go. So go make your money with college basketball. Get your shot at stupid amounts of money. You can also bet on hockey, football, baseball, table tennis, esports, cycling, cricket, highlight, you name it. You can bet on it at DraftKings Sportsbook, okay? So go over there, get your bets in. Again, use code DNVR to let them know we sent you. DraftKings Sportsbook app is the easy way to do it on your phone. Other terms, restrictions, and conditions apply. Must be 21 or older. Colorado only. Of course, if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. We are also brought to you by Green Mountain Dental Group. They're over in Lakewood, just 15 minutes from downtown. You can jump over there, get yourself all set up with amazing dentistry. A bunch of people here at DNVR have switched over, and all of them have told us they've had a great experience with them. Plus, you get a free Sonicare toothbrush when you sign up for a cleaning, x-ray, and exam, so you might as well jump in on it just for that fact alone. They're just great over there. Everyone who's gone there, Allie went there, Lindsay went there over the last couple of months, and they all said how amazing their experience was. Allie, even with some of her troubles with her teeth, Green Mountain Dental Group took care of them. So credit to them. Go check them out. Let them know DNVR sent you, as usual. If you really love us, we appreciate all the super chats, but consider subscribing to the website, becoming a DNVR member. Get in on the lounge. You can go poke fun of us there and pick our brains. We're usually hanging out in Discord. If you want to ask us a question directly, that's a good way to contact us. So highly recommend doing that. Of course, you also get access to all of Evan and AJ's amazing written pieces. So yeah, content's dope. DNVR's dope. Come join the DNVR fam. Second period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast presented by that DraftKings Sportsbook. Let's go ahead and get to our king of the game right away here. The man involved in both goals for the Avs, Mikko Rantanen, also had his 5 shots on goal. Been a minute since he's hit his 2.5 shots over, but got the job done in this one. Gotta like that. Look, when a team is struggling to put pucks in the net, I should say, you rely on your best players to do the job for you. Yeah, it's super cliche. Yeah, I get it. But at the end of the day, there's a reason that those guys are the best players in the league, and that's because they can get it done regardless of what's going on around them. Mikko Rantanen got it done in this one.
If this was a full season, he'd be on pace for over 40 goals.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
And a gentleman, too. Did you see that? The gentleman moose. Gives the puck over.
Yeah. 2-on-0 with no goalie in net, and he slides it across to MacKinnon to give MacKinnon the freebie there. But
yeah,
Mikko's already making 9.25 for the next billion years.
Yeah, he knows Mac likes to yell. Here you go, sir.
Did not want to have that earful in the locker room after the game.
Yeah,
keep Mac happy.
The fans would always yell "shoot." Oh yeah, if fans were here, they would have no reason to yell "shoot" anymore.
They don't need to yell "shoot." They need to yell "score." I think is what AJ tweeted tonight. So
look for the open lanes.
Not if you're Jacob Mcdonald.
Nope. Jacob Mcdonald. Oh man, every time I see him, it's like I think he's leading the rush right now. Like he wants the headman pass so he can just go.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's great. It's fun to watch until it backfires.
Brandon, thank you very much for that super chat. I think I got Pin Kings already. All right, I'm trying to keep up, chat. You're popping off tonight. We're trying to keep up. So Mikko gets the job done. MacKinnon ends up getting the freebie point. 5-on-5. What more do you can't ask anything more out of the forward core, right? So let's look at the power play. It's the power play, right? You expect to score more goals on the power play. Not scoring at any rate that feels comfortable right now for the Avs. Do you lump that in with the bad puck luck they've had at 5-on-5, or is that a little bit different for you guys?
I just don't feel like the power play was that good tonight. And they kind of go through these stretches. I think they had a good game the other night where they didn't score a goal. I can't remember if it was the last Arizona game or the one before.
It was the last one.
Yeah, they had some good chances and they just couldn't get one. But tonight it just didn't look good. And really, if Nate doesn't have a good game on the power play is really not going to run all that well. And he didn't seem super confident right there. So, yeah, it just didn't feel like a good night for the power play. And I don't know. I get the frustration with fans, but this power play goes through these waves, and I'm sure they'll have one of these games where they get 2 or 3. It's just kind of how it always works.
Yeah, it just seems like it's been off just a little bit. The first one wasn't too bad, but the second one wasn't very good at all. Seems like they're just not hitting their passes, and it looks like guys are basically reading what the Avs are trying to do out there. So might have to switch some things up on the power play, try some new things there.
Kind of a weird couple of nights, right? There's this conversation around how MacKinnon in his off time was really focused on the power play, wanted to try some new things in the power play. That the other night against Arizona, you saw MacKinnon playing in the middle. Tonight, he was back to his normal spot, and I don't know. MacKinnon just looked weird to me on the power play. He had some indecisive moments. They were working the puck away from him a lot, which was a little weird. And then in the few moments he did have the puck, he flubs this one pass that he tries to go to the bumper guy on and barely gets anything on it. It was just a weird night on the power play. MacKinnon didn't look like his normal self. So
yeah, that pass to Kadri was
ugly,
weird, because it was like Kadri wasn't even where he was passing it to. It just didn't make any sense. But yeah, it just wasn't a good night on the power play. That was really the only buzzkill of the game, because 5-on-5 they looked unstoppable. Minus the whole not scoring thing. Yeah.
Yep. The monthly membership will get you into the DNVR Lounge. Appreciate it. If that was you, Pin King, just joining us. You could also, of course, get in with the annual subscription and all of any way you want to subscribe to DNVR. That's fully up to you. All right. We beat around the bush a little bit. Let's talk about the defense tonight, because we've praised the pairing that gets praised every game in Girard and Taves. Dan Rudolph gets into a random fight tonight.
Looked awkward.
It was not a great fight,
oh.
but it happened. So, okay.
There's not much to talk about on that fight.
No, he's just, I mean, he probably sees Byram's coming back. He wants to stick around. He's trying to make an impression in some way. And then, at least unlike Gilbert, he didn't get his face smashed in. So that's a upgrade right there. But yeah, I said it the other night, like, for your 12th defenseman, I don't know if you can really ask for much more than Dan Rudolph has given you. He's been, solid for the most part. He just, he looks like a guy, we talk about Mcdonald being an older guy who just realizes this is how I have to play to be effective. And Rudolph is like, this is the only way I'm going to survive. I cannot take a single chance. I'm just going to do the bare minimum out here. And it's working. It's been fine. I've liked him more than Patterson, to be honest. So one of them's making a lot of money, one of them not.
With the healthy lineup, neither of them are in, right?
Well, ideally, yes.
So you got a little bit of everything tonight. Jacob Mcdonald was Jacob Mcdonald in over 20 minutes of ice time.
It's awesome to watch. It's awesome to watch. It's like awesome. A heart attack.
Yeah, I think he's getting a little bit of a pass because the entire Avs lineup can't produce points. But when you play defense the way he plays defense and you're not producing points, something's wrong.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say.
But nobody's scoring, so
that might actually be AJ Haefele, because
McDonald is YOLO, but they're getting 20 minutes out of this guy, and they're giving up 19 shots a game. It's just crazy. It's working. You don't know what's happening, but it's working.
Okay.
It has not been exposed yet. That's the thing. It's we keep waiting for the other shoe to drop, and it just hasn't. So you can't really hold that against him.
True.
Must be a great locker room, guys. Guys are just covering for him back there. So,
well, I think we learned you can't play McDonald with Ryan Graves because he's not fast enough to cover back for him.
No, that's Patterson.
Patterson also not fast enough to cover back for him. Also true. The two together obviously had a couple of rough moments tonight, but let's get into the Ryan Graves conversation here, because there's a lot that I'm sure Evan is ready and willing to point out that is not to like, certainly early in this game. But on the flip side, he came up big defensively in the third period.
Yeah. And the thing is, I really, for the most part, haven't had much of an issue with him defensively in his own end of late. His problem has been breaking the puck out. He has not been good. He iced it again tonight. When he gets caught in these pinches almost every game at the offensive blue line, it burns him. And then, the play with Patterson tonight where Patterson got caught pinching, and then I think the Kings player had him beat to the puck, and instead of backing off and covering the pass, he attacks the forward, and the Kings player gets a wide open pass in front. I can't remember if Grubauer even had to make a save or if the guy missed the net, but it's just little reads like this that are not. He hasn't put together a really consistent game. I'm not sure he's done that all year. First shift of the second period, he went for a big hit, and Taves had to bail him out on like a mini 2-on-1. It's like, what are you doing? Like, this is the exact opposite player that we saw last year, who was very, very consistent. And then you get the third period where I thought he was awesome. Like, he blocks the shots on the penalty kill. He does great. And it's just like, what? We just need to see some consistency. That's all we need.
Do we need to set up the you're not allowed to cross the red line rule for Graves or something for like a game or two?
Yeah.
It's just a tale of two players out there for him. Again, I thought he got better throughout the game, but that first period, it was very suspect. And Evan, I think you're right. In the defensive zone, he does a great job, but when it's in the offensive zone and then there's a transition coming back, that foot speed really kills him. He just can't transition and get back, and guys are just taking advantage of it now. You see people basically seeing that he's out there and they're going towards him to try to get around him.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of that. 100%. There's a book on him that his foot speed is an issue right now, and when they start challenging him, the question becomes he has to make the right read every single time to not get burned like that, and he's not done it consistently enough this year.
Yeah.
So,
and in fairness to him, he is playing a lot more than ideally he would if
he's a third pairing guy if the Avs are healthy.
And Byram are in the lineup, so he's being played above what he normally would be played. So he deserves credit for at least battling through all this. And obviously the Avs aren't giving up a ton of shots, so he's doing a lot of things right in the defensive zone. It's just there's not a whole lot of consistency there. So that's really the only frustrating thing. Because like I said, that was what he excelled with last year, is that there was not really a ton of high, or I guess not really a ton of lows. Yeah. He was pretty consistent as the year went on, and that's I think why Bednar and the staff preferred him to Zadorov, because with Z you didn't know what you were getting every night, and that's kind of what it feels like you're getting with Graves right now.
Yeah. Kind of segueing, using Graves as the top PK minute getter in this hockey game. PK got the job done in the third period. First two penalty kills of the game were great. Kings didn't even look dangerous. And then the third one, things got a little wild, but they survived.
Yeah.
So
I love this Jost O'Connor combo on the penalty kill. They're just awesome together. I know the staff is still depending on the vets, but that's who should really be anchoring this penalty kill, and I hope that's what continues moving forward, because they are just tenacious. They pressure everything, and teams are not ready for it.
Yeah, they got a good rapport with each other too. They buzz and they play it the right way, right? It's not two of them just going after guys. They just switch off and they're just taking away all the time and space out there. It's awesome to watch them just go out there and operate that penalty kill. So,
Rob, if you're dealing with a migraine, go to sleep, dude. The YouTube video will be there in the morning. You can catch the podcast in the morning. We're available after live. You don't gotta struggle through for us. You can always catch us after the fact on both YouTube and whatever podcasting service you prefer. On that note, be sure to like and subscribe to the YouTube video. That helps us out a ton on here. I really do appreciate it.
Robin's comment there. Shout out to Robin. He's awesome. It would be nice if they could get out into a lead in one of these games so that you could give Girard and Taves
some time off,
cut down their minutes just a little bit. But they just haven't been able to do that for a while now.
Shots were 33-13 after two periods, and they had a 1-goal lead. The puck's just got to go in, right?
Yep.
Sometimes hockey's that simple. The Avs just have to put the puck in the net. It's the only thing they can really do significantly better. We can take our second period break on that note as we are presented by Strava Craft Coffee, the CBD-infused coffee that has really changed lives. You can check them out online and get yourself 20% off with code DNVR20 on your first purchase. And if you've already made your first purchase, your second purchase, you can use code DNVR25 to get 25% off that purchase as well. So they got you double covered right now to get in on it. The CBD is awesome. It's been known to help with migraines, just like Rob's dealing with right now, aches and pains, a bunch of other stuff as well. So check out Strava Craft Coffee today. And while you're ordering that, also be sure to head on over to DNVRmortgage.com. Mike and Virginia got you covered for your mortgage, and they're giving away free DNVR swag. So you get a free consultation. You get a chance at free DNVR gear. You might as well go over there just for that. And when you get there, they will get you all set up. They'll take a look at everything because Mike is also a certified financial planner. So he'll take a look at your entire picture and make sure to find the right home loan for you. Again, you can find these two amazing people, family-owned business, down at DNVRmortgage.com. Check them out today, Chevalier Mortgage. You can also call Virginia directly at 303-257-6578. Michael Chevalier, NMLS 1931006. Virginia Chevalier, NMLS 1910631. Third period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Rudo, Blais, Evan will be joined by AJ Haefele shortly to talk about the locker room and all of that.
I am very excited about the snow. I'm going to rock the tracksuit all weekend.
Where's the picture? We probably don't have it. It's on the Free Skate Friday show. Oh, well.
It'll be so warm while shoveling.
Dude, the one thing about apartment living, don't have to shovel anything. There it is. Let's go. Get the tracksuit on there. That's what I'm talking about.
I know. The rest of my body's covered in sweat. That's how warm that thing is.
Did you do the trick I saw on Twitter all the time today? Put a bunch of beer cans down on your driveway before it starts snowing.
Oh.
And as you shovel, you get
little
prizes. Yeah.
No, I did not see that.
My kids would love that.
Allie's up in her Manscaped game. I like to hear that. I did not. I haven't had the chance to watch the show today.
Just a warning, I'm at the bar, and that's why for everyone who's listening. It was just funny because I was so bad at it, and I just was like, the crop preserver, everyone loves that. Go get it. So really, your talents, no one can beat those.
Look, we can't all manage our man rocket like I can, all right?
Oh my God.
Thank you. See that today?
And on that note, Allie's gone.
On that note, let's bring in AJ Haefele at the game tonight. AJ, I'm sure
I'm home now.
Whoa.
Yeah, you going 90 down Colfax there?
No, man, I tell you what, the city is empty.
Yeah.
I mean, empty.
Everyone's at King Supers right now.
Yeah. I walked out of the arena and I was like, there is nobody around. It was like a post-apocalyptic movie where a guy had been asleep for 3 months and he walked out into the city and it was just like, it's gone. It was empty, man. So I got home in no problem.
Must be nice.
Yeah. So post-game presser.
Yeah.
Philip Grubauer basically said, despite the number of shots on goal, I believe he said, I can't get out my umbrella, set it up, and then put my feet up and enjoy the view. He has to be ready. So good to know he's not back there with an umbrella. And then they talked to Graves. Graves was like, cool. I block shots. And then Bender talked a lot about the system tonight.
Praise, I assume.
Yeah, he basically said the system's only as good as the players executing it. lot of people were trying to give the coaching staff like credit for a lot of things, and he was just like, our players are doing a great job.
The thing that coaches say when things are going well.
Yeah, well, and I mean, it's one of those things where it's like he could have taken credit. They were trying to give him credit, and he was just like, nah. And then talked about Ryan Graves. Said Ryan Graves had a really bad start to the game and got a lot better as it went on. Really liked the decision that he made on the Rantanen goal. When asked about his play over the last week or two, he said, "It's been okay," which is like,
sounds a lot like what we said.
Yeah,
that's like the Jared Bednar version of if I had a body to put in your place, I would.
there may or may not be a gun to my head telling me I can't say it's been bad. Yeah,
it's just like, you know. But he was like, look, when he smooths out his game and he does the things that he does well, he's really good and he's really effective.
Yep.
So that blocked shot on the PK, the third PK, the only one in which the Kings played with any sense of urgency whatsoever. That PK was like, that was like very good, like bend but don't break.
Dude, there you go. There's another shirt idea. All right, a goalie mask just sitting in the sand, a little umbrella, and a recliner chair sitting out there by the beach.
I would imagine, AJ, that this game was a lot like the game the other night against Arizona, where, you know, I don't know what it looks like on TV, but at the rink, I was just like, are these two teams even in the same league? Like, this is not even close.
It was so interesting to watch because it's like the Avs get dinged for not playing like playoff style hockey. And I'm sitting there in the rink watching them win every puck battle. Every time the puck comes into their own zone, it's out. I mean, it's collect it and it's gone. It's such a team-oriented approach right now. There's almost nobody doing anything on their own. And to be honest with you, I think it's hurting them offensively a little bit because they are playing such a all five guys trying to make it happen that they're looking for the little backdoor tap in. They're looking for the tip in front. They're trying to incorporate the teammates as much as they possibly can into a lot of what they're doing offensively. And I think just a touch more selfishness on offense would really help, especially from Andre Burakovsky, who looked like he was jumping tonight from the very hop. He got out there and it was just like this guy's in a different headspace right now. He's feeling confident. He's out there flying. He looks good with the puck. He still had like 5 shots on goal. And it could have been double that had he been just a touch more selfish. I think that they could really use just a little bit more. I'm going to do something awesome.
Is that the lesson Berkey needs to learn from what was nearly the worst play of the hockey game? Where he makes an awful blue line pass and only gets away with it because the puck bounces on him.
Yeah, I mean, that play was so close to disaster.
Yeah,
but the second line was awesome.
Oh, dude,
Brandon, every line was awesome.
I wish fans could be in the stands so that they could see all the little things that Brandon Saad does in a game that it's really easy to miss on television. You can really get an appreciation for how hard that guy works every single game. And it's just like all game long, the guy goes out there and it doesn't look like he's doing very much, but he's everywhere. He's all over the defensive zone, involved in absolutely everything. And it's like, this is the good Brandon Saad. This is the Brandon Saad that you pay money to. Like, this is the Brandon Saad that you go out of your way to find a way to pay in the offseason because he brings what they do together so nicely.
And he's not afraid to go to the front of the net and just grind out there as well.
He's not afraid of anything. Like, if he has to hit somebody, he'll hit somebody. It's not really what he wants to do. But he's a very, like, lunch pail guy with enough skill to make it pay off.
Yeah, he's going to be huge in the playoffs. Like, that type of playoffs.
I tell you, it'll be easier to make the playoffs if these teams in the West stop playing these 3-point games.
Yeah, Vegas and St. Louis go to overtime tonight in a game that was over.
Dude, watching them blow a 3-1 lead, and I'm like, where's all the freaking out about this? Why isn't their fan base melting down about how that's not what a championship contender does?
Tampa Bay gave up 6 goals to Detroit the other night. There's some losses out there to good teams, folks.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
And somebody asked about Kadri earlier, and I think Kadri has been a million times better like the last 2 weeks or so.
Oh,
He just can't buy a goal right now.
The wild ride is smoothing out quite a bit, and it's a lot more positive than negative, but
he looked a little frustrated out there tonight. AJ, did you see that where he was like, it looked like he was like slamming his stick? And
yeah, there was a lot of that. I think from a handful of guys, there was a lot. One thing I do get just because of where we're sitting, we're not usually this close to the ice, but the Avs bench is really quiet. Like they're like LA's bench was almost like comically involved in everything that they were doing. Like Peterson would make a routine save and like 3 or 4 guys are banging sticks on the bench, and it's like, is this like a concerted effort to like pump his tires, or like what's going on here?
What does the Avs bench say though? You had the tweet tonight. Should the Avs bench just start yelling "score" or like, what?
It was an interesting contrast because that's something that when you're in the building without fans and you're as close as we are, you get a really different feel for how they communicate in game and kind of how they pump each other's tires and how they do all these, how they have the adjustments, how they react to big events. They were really, 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 really noticeable on the disallowed goal.
Yeah.
Oof. They were really like, the whole bench stood up. There was a lot of shouting. One of the linesmen had to come over and be like,
"Shut up.
You guys need to chill out." Like Dad said, stop. I thought it was just interesting that they were nowhere near as chatty as LA was, and LA was just like LA's getting caved in, right? And they're trying to talk themselves, "Oh, we're into this. We're into this,
sure.
baby.
Yeah.
We're into this. We're only one good bounce from tying this thing." And they're like shift after shift, they're going out there and just getting their ass kicked. And
all right, I respect it. All right, how many times yesterday did I said we're only one good pull away from this thing?
Yeah, well.
All right, I know that cuts too deep. We'll keep going.
Yeah. I need a drink just thinking about it. But no, I just thought it was, and then after the game, the entire Kings bench like jumped onto the ice and like flooded Peterson with love.
Dude, just
and
lost
Peterson
a game that he made
like,
44 saves in.
if I'm Cal Peterson, I'm like, oh, so you guys are capable of getting on the ice. Where have you been for the last 2.5 hours? You asshole. Like some of the saves that he made tonight are just blind luck. He throws his shoulder at a puck he can't even see, and he just throws his shoulder up and he's like, and just clips the top of it, and you're like,
there was one save. It was a deflected puck in front. I forget which one. There were a million, but it gets deflected in front. It hits him in his pad. He reacts to the deflection after it hits him, and he lifts that pad after he makes the save. And it's like, your slow reaction time actually saved you on this goal. Like, what?
It's crazy being that close, and just getting to see how fast everything is at the NHL level. It always catches me off guard how fast they play.
Yeah, the further you get away from it, it's like slow. You're like, oh, I could play in there. And
you're like,
oh wow,
this looks like college hockey. There's no difference when I'm far away or when I'm at a TV angle, and then you're right down in there, and you're like, oh, Greg Patterin just tried to chip a puck and tried to one-time it to keep it in the offensive zone, and it hits a guy in the face, and then the puck goes the other way, and he misses a hip check at the blue line, and now there's a scoring chance against him. Wow, Greg Patterin's really not very good. And it's just like, man, all of the little things that Greg Patterin does to blow up a shift really stand out when you're like right there and you're catching, you're just like ISO camming him, and you're just like, dude, this guy's bad.
So that was you.
In the chat, yeah, that was me. That was actually me. That was not somebody pretending to be. That was actually my real YouTube account.
I actually was like worried. I was like, is this going to be really AJ? I'm glad to know that it was.
Oh my god, are you at a club right now? What is happening?
Yo,
The DNVR bar.
best ad for the DNVR bar.
Yeah,
right
the
now.
Nuggets won by 1. That's right.
And the Buffs and Rams are playing right now
Buffs
too.
are playing
but
right
nobody
now.
cares
They're
about
up
them.
at halftime, and then the Rams game, I believe,
AJ.
just started.
Oh, I did not.
You have
Yes.
to accept that the bar scene cares about college sports. Okay.
90% of the people who care about the Buffs game are in that room, and then the other 1% is in this chat.
No, there is a good amount of people down
there
there.
he is.
And there, yep.
Yep, see, found him.
There he is.
All right. Let's move into our final thoughts in this hockey game. The dam hasn't broken for the Avs. I think that is pretty clear. But they're now 3-1-1 on the homestand. Or whatever. Not the home. Their last 5 games. Sure, whatever. That simple?
What are they on the homestand? I've lost track because my brain got
It might be 3-1-1. I forget when they came home. I forget which was their last home game. I'll look it up right here. Let's see.
1-1, 1-0-1, 1-1-1.
Yeah.
3-1-1.
3-1-1, and on the homestand. So they have 4 home games
And they're
left.
4-1-1 in their last since the 6-2 loss to San Jose. We talked about how they would respond. They're 4-1-1, and they should have won both of the games they lost.
Yeah. Certainly the loss to Arizona, you can't ask for anything more out of the Avs in. So it's I
How was it
tweeted out
12-16? I don't know. I need to check it. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I have a lot of energy right now.
you're good. You're good.
Score some goals. That's
It-
my final thoughts.
Yeah. My final thought was this team is a contender. Like everything about the hockey that they play is a contender except for the puck not going in the net.
Yeah. I think these games are good for them, though, as well, for the Avs, right? Like, being in close games makes you learn how to play this game the right way. If you blow everybody out and then you get into a close game, that's when things can go wrong. People don't understand what they need to do. Simplify the game at the end, right? They panic, and, the goals are going to come. If they weren't, like, getting so many scoring chances, it would be a concern. But it's like, it's just ridiculous that they just haven't broken through. So they just have to keep cracking at that dam. It can't be that damn thick.
Yeah.
So
Everybody feels like the quality is good enough. It's just a matter of
Especially
making it
tonight.
happen.
Especially tonight, the quality was more than good enough.
I actually
all
haven't
4
looked
lines are buzzing.
I haven't looked at natural stat trick once yet.
You want the shot chart? I'll bring it back up.
Dude, I bet it's so ridiculous because high danger chances, the Avs were all over the place.
Yeah, it's
They had to have had at least 12.
The best, though, is the
look
goal.
at the red. Yeah, the goal from the moon.
Yeah, so the offense skinned their knee in front of Calvin Peterson.
Yep.
That is ridiculous.
Meanwhile, LA loves the Ryan Smith play over here, but
Shut up. That's what the shot attempts were?
yeah, out of control. Out of control.
Dude.
34-8. Is that what the high danger chances were? Or is that scoring
that's
chances?
scoring chances.
Scoring chances.
High were 13-4.
Dude, they had 25 shot attempts.
Yep.
At evens to 65.
Yep. That's my dog's. That's what my dog thinks about that.
Yeah,
Shut up.
The only final thoughts are, score some goals. Hope it'd be nice if Byron came back, started to get some bodies back on that defense on Sunday. And
possible. They have the day off tomorrow, but I think if it's not Sunday, Tuesday.
Yeah. And then the only other thought is, if Comfort is healthy, I'm not even sure I'd put him back in.
I would.
I know who you'd put him in for, and that's really the only person I would consider swapping out for him right now.
Good credit, though. Belmar had a good game.
That penalty was the stupidest thing I've ever
one
seen in
last
my life.
The Tim Peeliest Tim Peel game we've ever seen.
Skating
Dude,
backwards.
they didn't even know who to call the penalty on. They had to have a ref huddle and be like, So we called a penalty, right? We can't take that back. Pick a guy. And it was almost like they waited until the Avs like put out the PK and waited for the faceoff guy, and they were like, "That guy." Belly did it.
What? Staring up at the screen. Let's see the replay here. Let's see if we can figure it out.
Like, well, they weren't showing replays in the arena because they stopped doing that this year.
This is
yeah.
after earlier in the game where Nathan MacKinnon gets a total like lumberjack job to his throat. Like
that happened right in front of us, and I just started cackling because I thought for sure one of the two guys that it was their job to see that could see that he just got pitchforked in the face, and somehow that guy just kept bailing hay. Got him right in the face with it, but he was just like, we're good, no problems here. MacKinnon skated over to him after the play and was like, "Are you serious?" Like you could hear him yelling.
well,
It was great though. Yeah. I mean, it's 2-0. Phil Grubauer has 4 shutouts this year.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he didn't have to do anything in 2 of them. But
how many games does he even have 30 saves in this year? It can't be many.
well, what was the last time? I mean, the Avs, let alone 30 shots on goal. They're not even giving up 20 anymore.
Yeah, it's craziness.
I said it before you got on here, AJ, but I said, he's probably really bored right now, but he's going to be rich in 5 months, so he doesn't care.
I mean, richer in 5 months.
Rich.
Maybe he can afford an umbrella in 5 months.
Yeah,
He's going to buy more hats.
Both of those Ducks games, they had almost 30 shots on goal.
Almost.
Yeah, 27 and 28.
And
Keeps up. He's going to have some hardware too.
Yeah, he's got a long way to go to catch Vasilevsky. But
Yeah, Fleury's doing his job at making him catchable.
Yeah.
yeah, tonight was evidence of that. All right. Anyway, I guess we're winding down the show here, unless anyone has any double final secret probation thoughts. No? All right, perfect. Buy the Man Rocket shirt. Support Gabe Landeskog, the absolute beast of a human being. The fun fact, that shirt will actually give you like 0.00001% of his dad strength. We infused it with dad power. It's a factual statement. So jump on it. Go purchase that. Check out thednvr.com. We'll have a bunch of post-game coverage for you coming. Evan's grades, AJ's piece, my video later tonight. We love all of you, whether you be in the YouTube chat, whether you be on the normal podcast. Like and subscribe if you are here on YouTube. Again, does a ton for us. Thank you for watching, hopefully both of our podcasts tonight. If you haven't watched the other one, go learn about Hallmark Avalanche players because, my goodness, Tyson Jost has had a roller coaster of a life in the Hallmark cinematic universe.
It's true.
With that note, we are out of here, and we will catch you guys Sunday if there is, in fact, a hockey game.
And if we have
there
power,
will be.
we have power.
I talked to somebody at the rink today who said there's absolutely no chance they do anything for that game. That game will get played.
All
So
right.
it's canceled.
Yeah. 3 feet of snow tomorrow, confirmed. On that note, stay safe during the snowstorm, and we'll catch you then. Have a good rest of your night, y'all. Take it easy.